Hello, guys. How's everything going? Again, my name is Chris, founder of Fast Academy, and doing this interview for the Forbes Network. Now, today I have a guest that a lot of you are going to recognize, and I need to give you a little intro about who this man is. Neil Patel is an international digital marketing expert, multimillionaire software entrepreneur, founder of incredible digital tools such as Crazy Egg, HelloBar, Kissmetrics, and Suggest, and more. And not only that, but Neil was born in the UK, but at the age of 2 moved to sunny Orange County, California. Today, he has advised companies such as Amazon, HP, and NBC on how to grow their digital marketing. He was recognized as one of the top 100 entrepreneurs under 30 years old by President Obama, and one of the top 100 entrepreneurs under 35 by the United Nations. From selling burned music CDs and cable black boxes to his high school friends, to now being a co-author of the New York Times bestseller Hustle and having millions of followers across all of his social media channels, this is Neil Patel. Neil, welcome. How are you, man?
Thanks for having me.
It's an honor. Where are you at right now? Where are you connecting from?
Los Angeles, California.
Beautiful. Still in California. Nice. I love it. And Neil, well, I have a couple of quick questions for you. Thank you so much for your time. The first one that I want to ask you is actually something that I know that our Latin American audience will really, really, really want to know about. And this is business-wise. Where is your current focus now? And what is your vision in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, what are you building? Because you're known to be a very futuristic guy in a certain sense. You're always up and ahead. So I would be really interested in knowing what is your focus on right now at the present time, and where are you headed to?
Sure. So I have an ad agency called Neil Patel Digital that takes up a lot of my time. Then the other part is taken up by a marketing tool that I've been building called Suggest. And I have this concept in which you can market or automate a lot of marketing tasks, specifically around SEO. And I'm spending a lot of my time doing that. Like, we all want more traffic. Why should we have to keep logging into tools to get more traffic? Like, how can we just do it in an automatic way? And I think through machine learning and AI, you won't be able to get 100% there, but you can get much further along than we are now.
So that is your main idea and end goal with Suggest? Is that what I got right?
That is correct. And Suggest works in all Spanish languages. So, and right now the tool is free. So from Mexico to Spain, to Argentina, Chile, Colombia, Uruguay. It works pretty much in all major Spanish-speaking regions.
Love it. Could you tell us a little bit about just the basic functionality of Suggest so everybody knows about it?
Sure. So, if you want more traffic, one of the best ways is to get traffic from Google. They do over $100 billion US a year in ad revenue. And 80% of the clicks happen on the free organic listings. So that's where the majority of the traffic is. If $100 billion a year is generated from the paid ads, and 4 times more clicks happen from the free listing, just imagine how much that's worth. So what we do is the tool helps you get higher rankings. You can put in your URL, and there's a site audit report. It'll tell you all your errors and what you need to fix. You can put in keywords, and it'll tell you other keywords that have more traffic that are easier to rank for that you should be going after. You can put in your competitors' URLs, and you can see their traffic on a monthly basis, their top pages, what's driving them their traffic, each keywords, who's even linking to them. Heck, you can put in your domain as well and see who's linking to you, and outreach to some of those websites, try to get more press, more backlinks. And if you're not sure what to write about, you want to write on Forbes or any of these sites, or even your own blog, you can put in keywords and it'll tell you all the popular articles around the web in any language on that topic based off of search traffic, backlinks, and social shares like Facebook shares.
I love it. So it's interesting because meanwhile, a lot of people are focused on paid traffic and building more and paid and paid and paid. You're here talking about organic traffic, and it just makes sense when you show us the numbers.
And it's free. And we even do things like tell you your current rankings for all the keywords and send you a daily report to even tell you when something goes wrong in your website and that you need to fix it. So that way you don't have to keep worrying and hiring all these people. But my goal is to help smaller businesses and help them out for free. And I started doing all this stuff when I first came to Latin America. In Brazil, years and years ago, I gave a speech at a company called Hotmart.
We're actually great friends with Hotmart.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, we love the guys.
I saw the potential. I'm like, why aren't people helping out these Latin America businesses? Because a lot of these tools cost $100. $100 in US isn't that much money, but you go to Mexico, $100 a month with the currency exchange, it's a big difference. Even Brazil, that's like 400 or 500 reais, right? So we're just like, all right, what can we do to make it more palatable for companies in these regions that need help and don't have the budgets?
That's awesome. And whatever suggest all the suggestions that you get on how to optimize your site, they can be done by a normal human being, or do you have to be like extremely tech savvy?
No, done by normal human being. We try to break it down in the simplest, easiest way.
I love it. Thank you, Neil. And guys, you're going to find all the URLs and everything around this article. So just look for it so you can go and try this amazing tool that Neil is giving us. Now, Neil, we're talking here about this organic traffic, right? And on the other side, you have paid traffic. Every single business it knows about. You can put money on Facebook, on Google, etc. But the tendency of everything is that prices are going up and up and up and up and up and up and up, and it's getting
And they'll
crazy
continue
expensive.
to go up.
Yeah. So my question with you is, on the side of paid traffic, what do you think the future looks like in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, is Facebook going to get to a point like TV did where it's just unreachable? Are we going to have to, our new social media thing going to pop up? Like, what do you think? What is your best guess on that?
Depends on the region. So in regions like the US, it's very expensive and it's hard. In regions in many parts of Latin America, there's still a lot of room to grow because there's not as much competition. But it doesn't mean it's not going to become expensive and tough and not feasible. I don't think it'll ever get to a point where it's like television. More so what you're going to see is companies trying to improve their conversion rates to make it work. So instead of when you're selling a product, let's say you're selling zapatos, shoes, right? You may also sell socks on the checkout, shoe cleaner, and all these things and upsells and downsells to get more revenue from the paid traffic that you're already paying for. And still over time, it'll become hard for a lot of people to compete. Now, to give you an idea, roughly on Facebook, the last stat I saw is there's 6 million active advertisers. So it's actually not a big number. It's a lot of companies are taking up the majority, but you'll still see a big long tail. And more companies are going to have to look at organic traffic and ways to get free traffic. Because it's just, yeah, sure, you can do all these marketing gimmicks and tricks and create funnels and optimize and do upsells and downsells. But a lot of small mom and pops and businesses won't ever know how to do that. It's too technical. They won't have the time, the resources, and the money.
Love it. So your guess is that businesses are going to start to focus not only on, hey, like a lot of because in Mexico or math is different, right? So we have very cheap cost per lead, but then on the other side, our conversion rates are super tiny, and we have to burn through this thousands and thousands of leads sometimes in order to get the same results that you get with leads in the US. And your guess is that businesses will have to focus on increasing average order value, increasing conversion rates, and just having to cope with this increasing cost per lead and cost per acquisition.
That's the only way.
Okay. And do you see any other kind of big players coming along? Because there's always tendencies, right? So you had Gary Vee going crazy over Snapchat a couple of years ago. Now there's a lot of talk about TikTok. And do you see anybody in the market that could eventually come and be like this third player that's not only Facebook and Google, but another source of really, really, well, kind of easy to access traffic?
The third player, if I had to place a bet, is actually going to be Amazon. And it's going to be mainly for e-commerce, of course, because that's what Amazon is. But I bet you they're going to be the third player.
No, that's interesting. And you're going to have to
so
play.
much volume, right? And they have buyer intent. You go on TikTok, you go on Snapchat, the buyer intent isn't there. You go on Instagram, sure, it's not bad, but it's not as good as Amazon. When someone searches for toothpaste on Amazon, they're looking to buy toothpaste. They search for dog house. They're looking to buy a house for their dog. When they search for a car cover, they're looking for a cover for their car, right? You don't get that on Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok. Heck, you don't even get that on Facebook. I believe it's going to be 3 players. Google number 1, Facebook number 2, Amazon number 3. Amazon could potentially overtake Facebook.
That's
when
interesting.
It comes to ad revenue.
That's very interesting. And you'll have to play under their rules, and that's it. That's going to be fun.
Exactly.
Super. And now changing a little bit of subject here, Neil. your blog is massively successful, and of course you do a lot of SEO and you do a lot of optimization on that. That's what you're known for. But can you tell us a little bit of how does a guy that's, I guess, as busy as you or has the success that you have, what is your system, your content creation system, and what do you do right after that? Like if you could tell me like, hey, this is my month and this is where I record content and then this happens and how do you distribute it and all of that. Can you give us like an overall look at the strategy?
Yeah, so funny enough, I use my own tool, Uber Suggest. What I do is I type in competitors' URLs. I go to a report called the top pages. I see their most popular blog posts, and it gives me ideas on what to create. I also go to the content ideas report, type in keywords in my industry, and I see what's the latest, greatest, what's really popular. That, in turn, when I combine those two approaches, it gives me ideas on what to write on. I then formulate my own headline. I then write the headline down. I then outline the article. I then create the introduction, the body, then the conclusion. I try to keep my paragraphs 4 or 5 lines, 6 lines max. I use subheadings to make sure my articles are easy to skim. I wrap up my post with the conclusion. I end my blog post with a question, and then I push it out. And then I go back to Uber Suggest. I look at all the similar articles, right, because it shows me. I then hit up everyone who links to the competitors because it shows me that. I hit them up, ask them to share my content, maybe link to it. I then look at all the people who shared my competitors' articles on Twitter and the other social sites. I hit them up, ask them to share it. I then look at all the people I linked out to in my article because sometimes I use stats and data and other people as reference, and I back up the points there. And then I email them asking them, hey, I linked to you. Please share my article. And that's my process.
I love it. And do you actually write your own articles or do you have a team that does this whole process for you nowadays?
No, I write my own articles. I just wrote my one for Tuesday. I was a bit burned out and I didn't have as much time. So I just did, hi, I'm Neil Patel, co-founder of Neil Patel Digital. Ask me anything. And then I just did a bio of myself. And then I said, ask me whatever you want and I'll answer it in a comment.
That's amazing. And I actually find it very interesting that somebody that operates multiple companies, that has a lot of people that maybe work in your teams, etc., finds it valuable to keep on writing their own articles. Can you give me your logic behind that? Because a lot of people will kind of like, that's the first thing that they delegate. Don't you feel?
So I think what makes my blog unique is I try to tie in personal experiences, and that's what makes a lot of my content popular. And if I didn't do that, I don't think it would do well. And that's why I write myself, because it's different. Everyone else just outsources their writing. There's no personal touch. There's no storytelling, right? You can't have that when you outsource it.
And it's usually one of the hardest things to outsource too. Like really find a copywriter that can speak in your own voice. It's a mess. Okay, so thank you for that. Do you want to add anything?
No, that's it. You got it right. I think that's the main thing that makes something popular.
Awesome. I love it. Now, I have 2 last questions, and then I really want to get your main social media for everybody to go and visit you, Neil. But my first question is, what is the number one advice you would give to SaaS entrepreneurs that are just launching? You're very good at this model. Like a lot of what I've seen has come from digital tools that you've created. So for anybody that's launching a software as a service, especially if you have a tip maybe for Latin American entrepreneurs, or if it's just a general one, what would that be?
If you're launching a SaaS application, especially in LATAM, I'll start with the freemium model, because freemium is the best way to grow and acquire users. Think of it as a marketing approach, not as a revenue approach. But advertising in SaaS is expensive, even in Latin America. Start off with freemium. It's a great way to get a lot of people to understand you, build your brand, and go from there.
Awesome. I love it. And starting with freemium, of course, opens up the question of, hey, where am I going to get the money? So do you think most SaaS businesses have to be either bootstrapped, or do you think it's a higher rate of success if you do have funding from like an external company?
You can be bootstrapped. Funding helps, but freemium doesn't mean you have to lose a lot of money. You can do freemium tools in very affordable amount and then bootstrap it.
Okay, super. Now, Neil, one last question. What is currently something you're obsessed with that is not business related? something maybe in your personal life? I don't know if you're into fitness or family, or what is like one thing that's really catching your eye right now?
I'm obsessed with optimizing my time. So like everything from I have a routine for working out. I try to figure out how to do high intensity interval training. So in 15 minutes, I can get the most out of my workout. And I'm obsessed with my time so that way I can spend more time and energy with my family and do walks with my daughter and my wife and things like that.
I love it, Neil. Well, that's pretty much it. So thank you so much, especially somebody that's so conscious and takes care of his time. This is super, super valuable for us, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed this interview. Give us your comments here, just any questions that you might have. We're here to serve you. And Neil, where can people reach out to you? What would be your main URL? And any last message you want to give to the whole community at Mass Academy, Forbes, everywhere?
NeilPatel.com. And make sure you guys all check out Uber Suggest. It's free. It's in Spanish. The whole application is also in Spanish as well, so you don't need to have to know English or anything like that. And my goal is to help people out in Latin America. And of course, for free. I don't think they should have to pay for stuff when we should help a lot of people in these countries thrive. There's so much talent there. They just need people giving them the right nudges and resources so that way they can succeed and grow faster.
Super, Neil. So guys, thank you so much. Leave us your comments down below. Again, my name is Cris Urzua, and Neil, thank you so much for your time. Bye.